Did I stump you? Which plant was your first caudiciform, or just plant in general?
Well, I could say with a reasonable degree of confidence that that one is probably dead. I'm sure I killed it, yeah.
Okay.
You know, like any newbie.
At least you're honest.
I'm being honest, you know, when you start collecting these rare plants, you don't always know exactly how to take care of them. So you end up either too much water or too much sun or some combination, too much fertilizer, and you end up burning them. And you know, we all lose plants, even experienced collectors. We lose plants for some unknown reason. But I would say I probably did not have some of my original ones. Although my original was probably some Gasterias.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Gasterias were the first thing I ever acquired. Oh no. Hold on, I do remember now.
Oh yeah?
My first plant that I bought was
an Echeveria.
No, it was a Bucarnia Restrata. It was a ponytail palm.
Oh, okay.
Which I still have in the front.
My next guess was a Madagascar.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, no, but the ponytail palm was the first one that caught my eye. That, what the heck is this?
Right. Okay, I can see that.
So that was the first one, and the other one I got was Phakia.
Okay.
A beautiful Phakia I got.
So those are long gone then.
The Phakia is gone, unfortunately, but the Bucarnia I still have in the front
Really?
of the house.
Maybe we should go check it out then.
Yeah, okay.
So basically you're saying to all those newbie collectors that it's okay if a plant or two dies.
Yeah, you got to expect you're going to lose some plants, especially during the winter when you don't know what you're doing. Even if you do know what you're doing, you know, sometimes it gets too cold, they're wet too long, they just don't make it, and unfortunately it happens. So
it's okay.
So you know, you don't need to, you know,
don't cry about
cry
it.
a river over it, and you know, go into the crying room. It's sad. You know, what's sad is when you have a plant that you've kept for years, and you got it from somebody you know, so it's really special. It has meaning to it. When you lose one of those, it really does hurt.
Yeah.
But when you just go to a show,
that's how I feel when my plants die that you give me.
Yeah. That's right. That's the difference. So when you buy a plant from a collector or from somebody, it's a different thing than when you just go to the store or just, you know, go to some show and just randomly select. So
yeah.
But that takes time.
It does. Okay.
Okay, did that answer your question now?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe we should go check that plant out if you know which one it is.
By golly, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Welcome back to my Caudex Garden, my collection. And this is a winter tour of the garden. So the first thing I wanted to point out to all of you is my Gasteria collection. And these are succulents. These are from South Africa. And I love Gasterias. This was the first plant that caught my eye as a succulent lover. And they come in so many different species and varieties, different colors, this has texture on it, the symmetry, some are very symmetrical, others are just wild. And I have just loved these. At nighttime when the light is on these, their shadows are beautiful on the wall. So these I wanted to show you because you don't see as many of these as everything else. So this is my very, very large Gasteria collection and my very large monster Gasterias. You're never going to see these for sale or even in show. They're just so big. They're too big for me to actually transport to a show. But these are probably at least 20, 25 years old. And Gasterias grow very slowly. So if you get a little one, it's going to take years for that to grow unless you put it in the ground. But I keep them all in pots. These are all my pots. And I just love looking at my living wall of Gasterias. It brings great joy to my wife and I. So these are my Gasterias, my collection. I have no idea how many I have, but I have a lot of them. And they're all a little bit different. I even have a few Haworthias mixed in. My wife loves Haworthias, so I have a few for her. Keep her happy too. So these are all of them. I have a few other things in here too. This is oh look, This is a epiphylium. It's a vertical one.
Oh, wow.
And it's flowering. Look at that. Look at the flowers on there. They're very tiny. And look how high I've let this grow. That's pretty amazing. You rarely see these vertical epiphyliums. Usually they're in baskets and they're hanging. So this is a very unusual one that I've had for a very long time. So that's my Gasteria. You'll see all my Caudiciforms here have all been trimmed back. They're almost all are dormant. They're deciduous, which means in the winter they lose most of their leaves or they stop growing. And that's what happens with these Caudiciforms. So they have all been trimmed and pruned back. These are my Raphioacmes, and they're just starting to wake up now. But I do want to point out to you some extraordinary, magnificent Caudiciforms, and that's the Mesticlemma tuberosum. So these are recent purchases. I acquired these recently, and I've been looking for years for these massive, very old Mesticlemmas, and I am just mesmerized by the size of these things. I've been collecting Mesticlemmas for years, but they've always been in this variety, a little smaller, but also fantastic. But that compared to one of these is just unbelievable. So, and the color, look at the mahogany color. There's another massive Mesticlemma. Look at this giant Raphioacme flammagani that's growing now. With all the leaves gone in the winter, you can see all these massive Caudiciforms, where in the summer they're so vined out, you can't always get to appreciate the magnificence of these Caudiciforms. But so this is one of my favorite times of year, is the winter time, when I get to trim everything back and get to really see the body of the plant. So another very old Ficus petalaris on a petrified wood. Look at these. These are very old.
What's this one?
That's an Alawadia.
That one's cool.
That's very cool, very old. That's the only variety that actually produces a Caudex. And this is my cascading Pachypodium, leafless. So you get to see everything. In the summer this will be covered. Another Pachypodium, one of my favorites are the Pachypodiums, succulentums and bispinosums. And in the winter, sometimes I'll be moving these around as the sun gets higher in the sky. I get more light. Here's my Operculicaria decarii. This is a magnificent one. It goes way up, very old. I got that from Lee Phelps.
Is this one the same as that?
Yes, only slightly different. That's the knobby variety, which I like. See the knobs?
Oh, yeah.
Some people prefer the knobs.
I like that. I think
I
that's
like the
cool.
knobs too. It gives it some character. When that gets wet, it looks really pretty. You can see all the different variety of colors in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
See? Now you can see the character of these.
Wow.
This is also a Operculicarii there. That's another cascading Pachypodium, succulentum. Now here's a Pachypodium bispinosum. These are semi-deciduous, so these always have green leaves, will always stay green. They grow very slowly in the winter, but they stay green as compared to the succulentums that lose all their leaves.
Interesting.
See? There's another different Pachypodium, another Mesticlemma, another cascading. Look at that. I just made that pot recently to put that in to restage it.
Yeah, it
It was
looks really
getting so
nice.
big. Yep. Here's a very old Pachypodium, but look at the color of that. That is really old. I got that from my buddy Charlie. And here's Another mesticlema up here. I love that intertwining of the tuber on that mesticlema. That's one of my favorite ones. And that's in an Erica pot.
I was just going to ask, whose pot is that?
Yeah, that's not a Robert's pot. That's Erica's pot. I love that one.
Wow, cool.
Here's another one of my favorite pachypodiums. Again, a succulentum, leafless. And then my Phakias. Look at that. Mother of a Phackia.
Wow. That's
also
twisted.
That's a twisted one, yes. As compared to one that's less twisted or smoother.
Right.
So they're all different, right? Or look at this. Yeah, I love that. See the knobbies on that?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
got some nice knobs. And that one. And here's, look at this sucker. Look at the size of that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
a
size
cool
of, that's a volleyball.
Jeez.
And very heavy. That thing is very heavy. Oh, I
We
can't.
should weigh it and see how
We
much it
should.
weighs.
For sure, it's probably a good 25, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So you can see when you look at all the plants now, you can actually see their caudex. So that's why, again, we wanted to do this winter show for you so you get to see why I love the Caudiciforms, because of the unusual and bizarre caudex that they produce. And they're all so different. They're all so different. Here's another big mesticlema.
Yeah, look at
I
these
love
three
that.
next to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, aren't they? This is the one I got from Oscar down at GT Nursery, and I love this one. Look at that. Look at the color on that.
Yeah.
See, it's very healthy. Got all this new growth on it. I cut all that back, yet it still keeps growing. See, they're all different. They're all similar, but they're all different. See?
No
You
leaves.
can see, no leaves. These all have red flowers. So they're all gone. They're all sleeping now. They're all dormant, and the caudex is nice and firm, so they're healthy. So you always want to check in the wintertime. Your caudex is nice and firm. There's nothing soft or mushy, because that's bad. If you find it, you got to remove it all. See, here's another one. This is a beauty. I love that one. Talk about.
Oh, yeah, wasn't this the Hala
Yeah.
one? The Hala Phackia?
That was beautiful. Yep. More mesticlemas. Here's these two back here are pentapentiums. Adolescents. These are really pretty. I like these. They grow really big vines. The leaf is green on one side and purple on the back of it. Very heavy bark-like skin.
Yeah, so now we're in the front, right?
front.
In your front yard.
And if you look over here, that ponytail palm is the original plant I got. I bought that from Lee Phelps.
Come on, Dad.
For-
And it's just sitting over here in this
I bought
random
this
pot?
for $20, or
This is
maybe
sad.
25 in a random pot.
I'm
And
disappointed.
look at this. Me too.
Come on. We need an upgrade here, Dad. You need
That
to make
is-
a pot for this one.
That's foolhardy. Look at that. Isn't that
Okay,
cool?
look at that one. And then also look
that
at this one.
Yeah, look at that.
Come on.
I know.
You think those are bigger underneath there?
Sometimes they are. Generally, they're not.
I mean, look at how big that is.
Yeah, it's huge.
Look at
It's bigger than your head.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so are you going to make a new pot for these guys then? Because I'm a little disappointed here, Dad.
Well,
I would think your first plant would have some sort of priority.
yeah, I'm disappointed with myself now.
I mean, come on, it's just like shoved over there in some
Yep.
random...
I think I'm going to have to go to the crying room and have a nice cry.
Oops, sorry.
Because I'm ashamed of myself.
Look at how big these are. Come on.
I know. All right. You know what? I'm going to
This
make
one's
a
as
pot.
tall as me.
I will make a pot
Right
for-
here. This is what, at least 5 feet.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to make a pot for my very first ponytail palm. And I'm going to show you what that could look like, okay?
Yeah, come on.
Mark
I can't
my words.
can't believe this.
It's embarrassing.
Get it together.
Yeah. In fact, you shouldn't show anybody this, okay?
Okay.
I don't want anyone to see how neglectful I've been.
Let's look around here for a second.
You can look if you want. Look at this one down here. Look at the color of that. Isn't that
Oh,
incredible?
wow. Yeah,
I
that's
love
nice.
that. I love it.
These are so pretty.
I love my echeverias.
Wow. what is this pot? Do you even know?
I do.
Who's this? Who's this one?
Debbie from Burbank Creative Arts Center. I got that from her. So I liked it.
That's nice.
Look at this bunch. That one. Look at this. Look at that color on that.
Wow.
It's a lipstick Echeveria, see? There you go.
Okay. And we got these guys over here. Wow, look at the sky. After the rain.
I love coming out here and admiring all of these all the time because I can see them all. And now the important thing is, in another month or so, keeping my fingers crossed that they're all going to wake up. I'm going to see all new growth. See, like here, see there's new growth on here. Raffiuacmes are starting to wake up.
Oh, yeah.
They're starting. Phakias, not yet. It's a little early. Mesticlemma's a little early. So it's only, middle of February, another month. And then when the clocks get turned ahead, so we get more sunlight and it gets a little warmer, that's kind of the signal, a trigger to say, okay, time to wake up, guys. So,
Interesting.
so I hope you guys enjoyed looking at the collection during the winter time. We just had a lot of rain, so everything is very wet, except for my babies. They've all been covered.
I thought I was your baby.
You are my baby. And you've been covered too during the storm. So keep all my babies nice and covered. And I feed them when they need to be fed. And the only water these guys have seen are from me, not from the rain. Although they like the rain. They love the rain. When they're dormant, you don't want to get them wet and stay wet. That's not good for them. They don't like it. I would definitely lose some of these. So I'm hoping all of them survive. I've been pretty lucky. I take good care of them. Spend a lot of my time out here, but
How much time do you think you spend out here, Don?
probably
An hour a day? 2 hours a day?
probably from 8 in the morning till probably 8 at night. I'm usually here doing some
So a
stuff.
few hours a day,
I'd say it's collectively.
depending.
Yeah, I'm out here in the morning or I'm out here in the afternoon enjoying, especially when it's not raining. Even when it's raining, I sit outside and like to watch everything. So
Yeah,
it's been
catch a buzz and have some
exactly.
coffee.
Catch a buzz and have a cup of coffee and enjoy the surroundings. I love it. This is, when I go on vacation, I can't wait to get back and see all my babies.
Yeah, make sure whoever took care of them took care of them.
Yes, that's right. So this is 25 years worth of collection to acquire
Oh,
all
yeah.
of these one at a time and keep adding them and making pots for them and repotting. And so I hope you guys have enjoyed a little glimpse into my life, but into my collection, which is what's important. So I will say this, until next time, giddy up.
Giddy up.